Hello and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I'm your host, Gabe Peterson, and this is the place investors go to gain actionable advice, learn about current market trends, and hear war stories from other professional investors out there in the field today. Before we get started, I have two quick housekeeping items for you. First, if you like this episode, we would very much appreciate a like, subscribe, and share. It is the best way to support the show and keep it running far into the future. Second, if you're a new investor looking to get started in real estate or an experienced investor looking to take your investing to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you that will cover how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance those deals with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. On top of that, I throw in an insane amount of free bonuses that you'll have access to once you buy the ebook. All I charge is our admin costs to keep this show running. So if you're serious about real estate investing and want to create both active and passive income as an investor, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com and click on the button that says get the ebook in the upper right-hand corner to grab yourself a copy. With that said, let's dive right in. Today we have a very special guest with us, ready to drop some investor knowledge on you. So buckle up, grab your pen and paper, and enjoy the ride. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. Today we have Omni, the investor guy from the Cash Flow Breakfast Club. I am super excited to have him here because he has a lot of experience helping other investors see success in the real estate sphere. So Omni, thank you very much for hopping on.
Excited to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. I told you before we got on here, we like to hear how people got into real estate. I'm sure you got a good story. So why don't you take us back to the beginning? How'd you get started in real estate in the first place?
Yeah, thank you. I'm born and raised in Hawaii, started my real estate career out there, fairly entrepreneurial family. And I didn't necessarily jump into real estate right away, but I knew I didn't want to be an employee. So I wanted to own my own business. And I went down the path of multiple businesses, starting and running growing up. Somewhere along the way, I just stumbled across real estate as being an amazing business, both on the investing side, on the brokerage side, and been doing that for about 20 years. Relocated out to Northern Virginia, just outside of DC market about 12 years ago. My wife's family is out there, and we wanted to be closer to them, and that gave me an opportunity to diversify where I was investing and open myself up to more markets. It made it easier that way. So that's been my journey in a quick nutshell.
Nice, man. I love it. And yours kind of is similar to mine. I knew I wanted to start my own business, and I just started doing things left and right until I finally landed on real estate. What did you get into before real estate? What kind of businesses did you try to start?
Man, I was always about leveraging people, and so starting out, I would say as a kid growing up, figuring out what sort of jobs could I get and then pay my brothers to do and make a margin on. So I was probably taking advantage of my brothers, maybe my first business. But further along, out of college, me and some buddies opened up a retail store at the mall there in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
So we were in the retail business. I've owned vending machines. I own ATM businesses. Some of the best employees I've ever had were machines. They don't call in sick, right? So you have that side of things. I I worked at a surf shop back in Hawaii during school, and we took in old surfboards and sold surfboards. It wasn't my surf shop, but I was able to buy surfboards and actually flip surfboards, as part of that process. I'm there anyways, might as well fix it up, polish it up, sell it for a margin. And that led me to thinking, what are some more expensive things that I could flip? And real estate, kind of became an obsession of mine. Went down that flipping, wholesaling path. Quickly realized I didn't want to be a flipper, didn't want to do that my entire life. Made good money doing that, but realized I needed passive income. And so that put me down an obsessive path for, passive income, rental properties of any sort has been my focus.
That's funny that you flip boards. You can flip absolutely anything. I hear the craziest stories about people flipping, just things like shoes, boards. My partner,
on a deal we did recently. He got started flipping cars. I know that's not super niche, but yeah, you can flip anything. It's interesting to hear people's take on that one. So you got into flipping houses was your first kind of foray into the real estate side, right?
Correct.
Nice. But you did not stay there. So what kind of got you out of flipping, and what was your next step after that?
So I was good at making money. I was not good at keeping money. And when you make a lot of money, you tend to spend a lot of money, and needed the more consistent income.
Mm,
I needed a job income. I just didn't want a job, right? And so
right.
need to have something that replicated more consistency more than anything. And so I was still in Hawaii at that point, and a lot of the deals I was doing was in Hawaii, which is very expensive. It's very expensive back then as well, and had to start looking at markets outside of Hawaii and venture into lower price point markets. But the effort to run and manage a team for a fix and flip on a comparable percentage wise margin on a lower price point property didn't make a lot of sense for me.
Mm,
But the cash flow started to make more sense for me, and so I was able to find more cash flow markets outside, and that helped me with my passive income. My worry was always, as a wholesaler or flipper, is what's the market going to be doing, what's the market tomorrow, next week, next year. And I was able to kind of switch to a mindset of, if I buy this property and if I analyze it correctly and I just commit to hold it forever, like
mm,
what if I held this
yeah.
forever? No longer does it matter what the value is tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Sure, I would love the value to go up. I'd love to be able to tap into it, but if I never had to worry about that again, that was freedom for me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went down the path of just saying, I need to buy right. I need to buy for cash flow. And because of the cash flow, no matter what happens to the value tomorrow, if it drops by 50% tomorrow, I'll be sad, but it won't affect my actual investment. And so that was the path that I went on, and kind of shifted from single family homes into small multifamily homes to mid-sized multifamily homes. Now I do a lot of portfolios, kind of buy them in batches, and do some mid-sized apartment buildings as well.
Nice, man. I love that. And I like that you kind of you focused on cash flow. I think that's the thing that a lot of new investors, they're really looking for that quick buck, for the flip, for the wholesale. And they don't really look at things through the lens of cash flow. And I feel like that is crucial if you're even for single family. If you want to have a single family portfolio, looking through the lens of cash flow is king. Because if you're trying to flip a house that doesn't make sense on paper, then it's not a good deal. So you went from single family to multifamily. Why did you said you decided on Virginia as your main market?
So this wasn't my main market. This is just where my wife is from. So
Mm,
at some point, we achieved a baseline financial freedom through rental properties, and I was able to say, hey, we can go live wherever you want. What do you want to do? And she quickly said, I want to go live near my family in Northern Virginia. And so that was the reason for the move out here. We weren't actually investing in this market yet,
mm,
because I was able to get pretty good at remote investing, setting up teams.
yeah.
Never managed properties myself after the first few years, and hire good property managers, good real estate agents. Partner with other investors to get to know markets, and so that allowed me to be fairly remote, and it didn't matter where I was. Now, when I moved out here over the last, I would say, 5 years, I've put more of an emphasis to try to actually buy more in Virginia, Maryland, and a few states around me, primarily not because they're better places to invest. I have 3 young kids. My oldest is 13, my youngest is 7, and I wanted something closer to point to that I can
Mm,
drive them by, take them
mm-hmm.
to, and give them a hands-on experience. Right? We look at the numbers. I try to have financial conversations with them as much as possible, but a piece of paper is a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
They get to go to a property and actually put in some sweat equity for the day, or punch a hole in the wall for renovating it, and just kind of make it memorable. That's what I was missing out on, or maybe they were missing out on. So I intentionally started to invest in this area for that reason.
Yep. And I really like that you did that. It is, so many people, they hear I only invest out of state. I'm in Washington State and I just do out of state stuff. And people are always nervous, when they want to get into investing. They think that you have to invest in state. You don't. You can easily run an out-of-state portfolio. But I like that you decided to focus there just because you want to be able to see the structure. You want to be able to, take your kids there. I totally understand where you're coming from that perspective. So I want to dive in a little bit into remote investing. I know that you're focused more on your local area just so you can have something physical near you. But remote investing is, I feel, a great option for new investors who really want to find cash flowing properties, especially if they're in areas like, San Francisco, LA, Seattle, some places where the price point's a little bit higher. So on remote investing, what is your advice for someone just starting out, to get to begin to build their portfolio and their team? What are the first few steps that you take to start doing that?
Yeah, that's so crucial. And there's many great books about that that were put out, met podcasts. I think there's one called The Remote Real Estate Investor, I think by David Green. That's a decent book that kind of details that. It starts with your team and really starts with mindsets more than anything, right? Because I'm a control freak, and I think most investors probably are control freaks, right? Because I feel like I would do it best myself. I've always felt that, right? But it's wrong. I've tried it myself. I'm a terrible property manager. I'm a terrible landlord. I'm a terrible, all those things. But still, if I bought a property next to me, I would still probably try to do it. So, you know, remote real estate investing forces you to let go. Forces you, because if you buy something like, I kind of want it somewhat near, I think I'm going to outsource this, you're probably not going to outsource it. You're going to feel like, you know what, it's so close, it's only 50 minutes away, I'm going to manage it, think of the money I'm saving. But every single time it turns out that I lose money managing things myself, I lose money doing it myself. I actually have to be a better investor, more disciplined, meaning probably finding a better property to begin with that has the right margins so that I can pay someone else well to do it, right? And so that is really what it comes down to, is finding the right market, the right deal, and then putting your team together, right? We talked about property managers are so key. They are the most key person on your team. I have had amazing investment properties in really good markets that I've never done much more in that market because I have an okay property manager. And you cycle through property managers. After a few years, you try out a few people, and it's not a perfect science. And unfortunately, not everyone is the right fit for what you're trying to do. And I've had some average investment properties in decent investment areas that have been amazing, and it's because of the right property manager, the right team in place, the right expectations. So that's really it. So you're kind of testing out markets. I don't go all in on a market until I have a proven property manager, a proven real estate agent, a contractor team. Often I'm getting the rest of the team from them, but that can help me manage that completely remotely, where once a month I'm seeing a check or a wire deposit is really what I want to get to. But setting it up and getting stabilized in a new market, that's work, right? That is the job that we put in to become a passive investor. We put in months and months of work to build that team. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's longer, but once you build that team, ideally the property over time should be a really good investment managed by someone else.
Man, preach it. I've been shaking my head over here up and down because you hit it on the head, especially from my experience. Property management, you guys, if you can find a good property manager, they are worth their weight in gold. That is the number one team member that you need on your team. And you said it yourself. It's hard to find good ones. Especially for self-storage, I went through a couple before I finally landed on the one that I have now. And they're rock stars, but getting that good property manager is difficult. Do you have any tips for people looking to find a good property manager?
I think some people just have the skills, the personality, the organization skills, and some people don't, right? So ultimately, no matter what, some people will be good, some people won't. But I would say there's a lot of people that could be amazing or could be amazing for you. They just don't have the right expectations are not set. So having high set expectations up front is key. And then really the shift for me was, because I bought one property, call up a property manager, want them to be like, I want them to treat me like their number one client, right? I want them to make sure that I have 100% occupancy all the time and 200% over market, whatever, right? So unrealistic expectations as a new investor. And by the way, how cheap can you do it, right? So
Yeah.
I was a terrible investor and a terrible landlord to a property manager. And it wasn't until I got into the brokerage side, I'd never gone to property management, but several property managers became my friends. Man, they have terrible margins. That's a tough job. They don't make a
That
lot of
is,
money doing
yeah.
that. And so I said, well, what if I could pay a property manager more than average? What if I can, instead of one property, give them 50 properties of mine to manage? Now I become a better investor for them. Now I become much more important. And guess what? What I wanted them to do, they'll absolutely be doing, because I'm 50% of their portfolio or of their business. And so I do become the more important customer than anyone else. So I always want to be the most important customer, but now I know I have to commit to becoming that number one customer for them. And I tell them up front, I say, here's what I do. This is my first property in your area. If you're successful, I show them what I've done in other areas. I will do the same. I will continue to buy everything that comes up that makes sense. And I'm going to give it to you. And we can go from 1 unit to 10 units to 100 units that you're managing for me fairly quickly, as long as we have this line of communication and this line of expectations and this minimum return. Right. And that's what I'm testing right now. And some property managers roll their eyes and say, yeah, whatever. And some are saying, yeah, let's do it. And they become a partner in the growth, because I'm helping them grow as much as they're helping me grow.
Yep. That is, I like that. And it really, it just goes to show that doubling down on a specific area, once you do have, once you find your first property in an area, Nashville, whatever the metro is, doubling down in that metro, actually it helps your portfolio, because you're able to, use a property manager and kind of get economies from scale from them. So it makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm going to move us on just a little bit. The other side of your business is brokerage, which means you're good at finding deals. So give us one good advice for people out there looking for deals. What is it? What can you do to increase your lead flow?
Man, I've done everything possible, right? I've done bandit signs, I've done door knocking, I've done
I did
cold
bandit
calls,
signs too,
right?
man. Those
So
things are
start from the
garbage.
beginning, right? I don't do any of it right now. I build the network. I think is probably the most effective thing. Build a network, add value to that network, tell everyone in the world what you're looking for, and you'll be surprised. Most of my deals last year, so we had a target to buy 52 properties last year. We didn't get it. It was 46 that we ended up closing on last year, which is one of our best years ever. And it was from just me telling people, here's my goal. I have this big goal. I don't normally buy this much, but I'm trying to do this. Here's what I'm looking for. I run a local meetup. It's called the Cash Flow Breakfast Club, similar to the book that we put out. And it's about 100 investors, agents, clients, everyone tells everyone what they're looking for, but you provide value to people in that room. And then you say, by the way, here's what I'm looking for. I'll look for what you're looking for. You look for what I'm looking for. And then deals just find you that way. If you're consistent in that networking side. So if I had to do one thing, it would be network as much as possible, network in the right way, where you are telling people very specifically. Starting out, I said, I'm looking for a good deal. And no one sent me anything, right? So they sent me things, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look like a good deal. So I had to be very specific. Here is the price to rent ratio. Here's the general areas. Here's the price point. Here's a multifamily. Now I'm only looking for portfolios. The more specific I got, the more deals they found me. Where before I felt like I don't want to narrow down too much. I just want to be open to look at anything. Nothing really found me, because what's a good deal? That's so subjective, right? So be as specific as possible. Network, tell everyone what you're looking for.
Yeah. And I think that advice can be applied to pretty much any lead generation you do in real estate. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't find anything. I did the same thing at one point. I marketed to the entire nation for properties, and I got fewer deals doing that than focusing on one specific metro, just because now I know what I'm looking for. And your eyes just start to catch it. All right, I took a peek. We are over our limit, so it's time to jump into the quick question round. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Starts with books or any form of education. Give me 2 recommendations, one for general life wisdom and then one for real estate specific.
Yeah. So in terms of general information, non-real estate book. I just read this about a month ago, ran a book club. I probably read this 4 times in the last month or two. It's by Alex Hormozy, The $100 Million Offer, or $100 Million Offers. I think it's like the #1 book on Amazon right now.
Hmm.
Amazing book on writing offers, online marketing. You can make it apply to any business, and there's no correlation to real estate investing whatsoever, but you can absolutely take some of those principles there. So if you own a business or trying to grow a business, trying to market, trying to make unique offers, that's a must read book there. In terms of the real estate side, cliche is rich dad poor dad, but that changed my life like it changed many people's lives. And it's funny, I got to meet Robert Kiyosaki in Arizona a couple months ago. And as a person, he's kind of, a little crazy right now. But that doesn't change what he put in this book, right?
Yeah.
So some people are like, I don't want to say that anymore. The reality, it just changes your mind altogether, and I would not be on the path that I went on, without that book.
Yep.
The book that I wrote, Cash Flow Breakfast Club, follows a very similar narrative and path to that. It's in a story format, and all it is just understanding that there's multiple paths to go on, and really chasing your financial freedom first before trying to shoot for the stars for that generational wealth or legacy is probably one of the more important things that you get out of those books.
Nice. I love it. And where can people find your book?
So it's on my website, omnitheinvestorguy.com. It's on Amazon. It's published and print right now. We are working on the Audible in the next week. That should be out as well.
Cool, man. Love it. And I just pulled up $100 Million Offers on Amazon. I haven't heard of that before, but reading the little description here, I'll definitely have to pick that up. That sounds like a good one.
Definitely.
All right, moving on. This one is for your younger self. So if you could go back to the Omni who had zero experience in real estate, he was just getting started, go to him, look him in the eye, give him one piece of advice moving forward.
I would retire quicker. I have a goal to retire every 10 years to stop what I'm doing. And so I need to be financially free by 30 and retire. And then I need to build generational wealth by 30 and retire and basically mentally move on to something else. And it helped me do some really amazing things. If I had to go back, I'd do it every 3 years instead of every 10 years. Just find a way to fire yourself and retire. Because when you know that you have this pending deadline, this doomsday deadline of I got to retire or whatever it may be, become financially free. Whatever you're working on right now, you're going to fast track it to the 7th level of how do I do this and remove myself from the equation and still make it work. Because many people build businesses that they can never pull themselves out of, which means you have a really amazing job, but the moment you stop, it's still just a job, right? So retire or fire yourself quicker.
Nice. I like that. And I like that you said in your frame of retirement, you're just saying mentally remove yourself, because that's really a good goal to go for, because you have this end goal. Once you hit it, it doesn't mean you're going to stop working. It just means now you've hit that goal. Now you can move on to the next thing. All right, moving on. This is for the United States. It's a big place, a lot of opportunity out there to invest. So give me one market out there that you are most excited about investing in today.
Man, there's so many better answers to what I can come up with this because I'm not looking at so many things, right? It is what's driving me. So we've been out to Scottsdale, Sedona, Arizona 3 times this year, right? For various conferences, for various vacations. We love it there. And so I'm digging into it. I'm like, man, it's a great market as well. It's going up crazy like in prices, but there's so much opportunity. So personally, I love the Phoenix market. Everyone loves the Phoenix market. But more so than the Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona market, it's just, think of places that you want to go and you like to go, right? That's what I think about. Why do I want to go there? If I want to go there, other people probably want to go there. And that, more than anything, will stand the test of time through any sort of recession. People are still going to want to be in certain areas. And Phoenix, Scottsdale, Sedona is one of those areas right now for me.
Nice. That's good advice. That's Charleston for me. I absolutely love that city. I've been looking for a self-storage out there. So if anybody listening has a self-storage in Charleston, definitely shoot it my way.
Nice.
All right. So next one is tools. They form the backbone of our businesses. So point to one tool that you could not live without.
Oh boy. So CRMs, for your database management are so crucial, both on the broker side, the investor side. Right now, not tool, more system, my virtual assistant systems
Mm.
are more important for me for anything, because I have tools that I don't even know how to use, right? I have tools that I know are important, and I've had them for a while that were useless until I hired the right person to use those tools
Yeah.
for me. So I would say the systems around it, and as soon as possible, once again, fire yourself, which means someone else needs to do that work, and it could be a virtual assistant helping you do that.
Yep, absolutely. All right, and that leads us to the last question. This is for the listeners. Repeat, how can people get in touch with you and get in contact or get access to your book there?
Yeah, so it's on Amazon. It's everywhere you can buy a book. My website is omnitheinvestorguy.com. And on there, it talks about our investor club meetup that we run. We're expanding to multiple markets. It's a free education event that I think is one of the really good education, but it's almost like a forced. Here's the thing about meetups or networking. Most people that need to network hate networking. And so we force you to network. We do a speed dating round every single time as an assignment. So even those people that don't really want to network make those connections out of that. So a better meetup kind of content there, and talks about some really cool projects that we're working on that we like to keep people involved in.
Cool.
So omnitheinvestorguy.com, same thing, same handle, Omni the Investor Guy on all social media handles.
Perfect. Omni, the investor guy. I will put that URL in the show notes. So if y'all want to reach out to Omni, just go ahead and click a little more in the description. That'll pull down the full description, and in there you can find his URLs. So that Omni, that wraps it up. Thank you very much for hopping on the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. For everybody who's here with us today, thank you guys for showing up. You are the reason we do this. So if you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me, Gabe at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Other than that, hope you guys have a great week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as much as I enjoyed putting it on, and we're able to pull some actionable advice that you can apply in your own investing today in the field. Before you go, we have a gift for you. If you're a new investor looking to get started, or an established investor looking to take your investing to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you, available on our website. This ebook will cover how I was able to create both active and passive income in real estate with very little money to start with. In it, I will address the 3 most often cited obstacles new and veteran investors run into by showing you how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance a deal with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. And if you get the ebook today, I am throwing in a bundle of bonuses, 7 of them to be exact. The first one will be the off-market lead generation blueprint, which will take you through the exact systems and processes we use to generate off-market leads like clockwork, which is the most important skill when it comes to creating wealth in real estate. The second bonus is the A to Z REI systems and vendors guide, which will allow you to peek under the hood of our business and see the exact tools, systems, and even the vendors we use to see the success that we do. And the third bonus is the top 100 best performing keywords pack, which will give you the exact keywords we use to target motivated sellers online using PPC ads. The fourth bonus is our contracts bundle for wholesaling and renting real estate, which will give you access to all the contracts we use in the field to execute all different types of transactions. After that is the Investors Quick Analysis Calculator and Offer Tool, which will allow you to quickly calculate whether a deal is an actual deal and will allow you to create an offer automatically from those calculations. This is a lot of bonuses that I said. I'm just going to keep going down the list. Number 6 is the Investors Daily Success Tracker, which is a tracker you can use to ensure you are taking the right actions day in and day out to reach your financial goals in real estate. And the last bonus is the Wholesalers Template for quick assignment cash, which will give you the templates we use to present our wholesale deals professionally and efficiently to our buyers. Whew, that is a bundle. So it's a mouthful. You get all of those bonuses for free when you download the ebook. All we charge is the admin cost to run the show. So if you're interested in the ebook and the bonus bundle, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Click on Get the Ebook Bundle at the top of the page to take advantage of that deal. And with that said, I hope you have a fantastic day, an even better week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.